Good afternoon, safety zoners, and we are back for another weekly quiz. We are coming from you from the top secret isolation station just off the Dolly Parton roundabout. This week's quiz, the prominent letter is the letter I. Remember, not all the answers. Not all the answers are beginning with the letter I, but it does feature quite prominently. So keep an eye out for that. So if you want to grab a pen and paper and maybe a brew, we shall begin. So, round one is the I round. Indigo, remember. Okay, question one. If someone pretends to be someone for laughs, they are considered an... So if someone pretends to be someone for laughs, their profession is an... Question two. What word sums up a belief of a new concept? What word sums up the belief of a new concept? Question three. What is the coloured part of the eyeball called? The coloured part of the eyeball. Question four. What is the boot-shaped country in the Mediterranean? What is the name of the boot-shaped country in the Mediterranean? Nice, easy one. The next one, this will really get you. What is the Hebrew word for father of many? Remember, I. Round two. Who am I? Let's just need to push the answers down. Who am I? I am a cold to the touch superhero that can freeze water and is always chilled. So, a cold superhero, maybe? Question two. Which Australian-born energetic wildlife host sadly passed away in 2006? So that's an energetic Australian wildlife presenter who passed away in 2006. Who sang White Wedding, Rebel Year and Dancing with Myself? Okay, question four. Which bumbling French detective featured in the Pink Panther movies? Remember, I is prominent, but doesn't mean it's everywhere. Okay, this is a nice little toughy one. Who was the first Russian leader to take the title of Tsar? Who was the first Russian leader to take the title of Tsar? Okay. Round three. Now, it would be wrong of me in my now country to do a quiz with the letter I to not do an Iron Brew round. So this entire next round of 5 questions are all Iron Brew related answers. Okay? Question 1. In what year was Iron Brew launched? What year was Iron Brew launched? Okay, this one does take a bit of an explanation. AJ Barr, the original founder of the Iron Brew Company, noticed workers constructing something were drinking too much beer, which is why they set up Iron Brew to stop the workers from drinking. But what were the workers building? So I'll explain that again. So Iron Brew noticed that workmen who were working on something were drinking far too much beer on the job. What were they building at the time? We'll come back to that one. Where is Iron Brew brewed? So where is Iron Brew made? Nice. Easy one there. Excuse me. Question 4. Why is Iron Brew spelt IRON, Indigo Romeo Oscar November, BRU, Bravo Romeo Uniform, not spelt iron, but BREW, B Bravo Romeo Echo W. So why is there a U in brew instead of EW? And that was question 4 of the Iron Brew round. Okay, and a nice easy one. In Irn-Bru's adverts, they claim what is added to it. Okay, so what's Irn-Bru made of? Maybe hark back to a certain advertising campaign of the 70s and 80s. Okay, pop round. Remember, I. So I'm trying to get as many of these I's in as possible. What is the name of the English heavy metal band whose albums include Fear of the Dark and The Number of the Beast? Number of creepy album covers. So that's the name of the English metal band whose albums include Fear of the Dark and The Number of the Beast. Question 2 of the pop round. Anne-Marie is singing about which annual celebration? But what is the name of that celebration? So, in Anne-Marie's current pop song, she's singing about a annual celebration we all have. What is the name of that? Okay, question 3. Stevie Wonder's 1981 hit involving a telephone was called what? So what's the name of the telephonic Stevie Wonder hit of 1981? Come on. It's nice and easy. Remember the letter I. Question 4. Who threatened to hit you with his rhythm stick? Who threatened to hit you with his rhythm stick? Okay, and question 5. The late Michael Hutchinson was a singer with which late 80s, early 90s pop group? The late Michael Hutchinson was the lead singer of which late 80s, early 90s pop group? Okay. Next round, general knowledge. Okay. So, toughie. It's a real tough one. This December is the last month of the in the year, but what's the first month of the year? Yep, you heard that right. If December is the last month of the year, what's the first month? See, try to encompass answers for all the community. Okay, this is a good one. British sports car manufacturer TVR were due to relaunch a new car as a new brand this year, but why was the car delayed? So TVR were about to come back with a new Griffith, I think, but their launch was delayed. But why? The answer is quite funny, so if you get that, for news. Question 3. Remember, this is just general knowledge. What is the worst score anyone's ever got on the quiz Pointless? What is the worst score anyone's ever got in the quiz Pointless? You know, the Alexander Miller and that tall chap. Okay, question 4. You have to listen very carefully. Maybe turn the volume up. On the way to St. Ives, I met a man with 7 wives, 7 cats, 7 bats, 7 rats, and a parrot. How many people did I meet on the way to St. Ives? So that's on the way to St. Ives. I met a man with 7 wives, 7 cats, 7 bats, 7 rats, 7 parrots. How many people did I meet on the way to St. Ives? Okay, and the final question, I may need to spell this out. What is blasphophobia? That's Bravo, Alpha, Sierra, Oscar, P, Hotel, Oscar, Bravo, Indigo, Alpha. So that's BASOPHOBA. Okay, so I'm now going to whiz through the answers in just one tick. Okay, we've had the time it takes the ball to revolve, as Bowen used to say in Bullseye, and we're now going to give you the answers. Okay, so the letter I round. If someone pretends to be someone else for laughs, they're considered an impressionist. Remember, the letter I was prominent. Impressionist. Question 2. What word sums up a belief of a new concept? And that's the word idea. See what we did there? The coloured part of the eye is called the iris. The iris. The boot-shaped country in the Mediterranean is Italy. And the Hebrew word for father of all is Abraham. Abraham. Remember, everything begins, well, everything related to the letter I there. So, round 2, who am I? The cold to the touch superhero who freezes water and is always chilled is Iceman. Iceman. What was the name of the Australian-born energetic wildlife host who sadly passed away in 2006? That was Steve Irwin. Irwin is the connection there. The singer of White Wedding, Rebel Yell and Dancer herself was Billy Idol. The bumbling French detective from the Pink Panther movies was Inspector Clouseau. Inspector Clouseau. And the toughie for this round, the name of the first Russian leader to take title of Tsar, which actually means Caesar, was Ivan the Terrible. Ivan the Terrible. Okay, Iron Brew, the Iron Brew round. Iron Brew was launched in 1910. Okay, now question 2, I'll explain. When they were building Glasgow Central, obviously landmark station in centre town, A.G. Barr noticed that the workers were drinking beer on the job. He spoke to them. He said, "Why are you drinking beer?" He said, "We're working that hard. We need to quench our thirsts." So he came up with a energy drink which would give them the power they need to get through, but without risky. You know, drinking on the job's not particularly wise. So that's how we came up with Iron Brew, or why he came up with Iron Brew. Okay, so the answer to that was Glasgow Central. Iron Brew is of course made in Cumbernauld, which I believe I'm contractually obliged to say, what's it called? Cumbernauld. Okay, Iron Brew is spelt without an E and a W, so that's brew, B-R-U, instead of B-R-E-W, because when they first went to register the drink, people were concerned. 2 seconds, I've got my explanation here. The patent office, or the people who register these things, were concerned that there was actual metal in it if they spelt Iron Brew correctly. So they were okay with the word iron, but they took umbrage with the word brew spelled that way. It's on the Iron Brew page. And of course, the Iron Brew adverts used to claim that it's made with real girders. Real girders. Okay, pop round. The English heavy metal band, whose albums include Fear of the Dark and Number of the Beast, you can tell I don't know this, was Iron Maiden. Iron Maiden. Question 2. Anne-Marie was singing about which annual celebration? That was birthday, so nothing to do with I there, just struggling with the pop quizzes to keep it down with the kids. What was the name of the telephonic Stevie Wonder song of 1981? That was, of course, I Just Called to Say I Love You. So back on the eyes. Of course, Ian Dury was the person who threatened to hit you with his rhythm stick. And Michael Hutchinson was the late Michael Hutchinson was the singer of the group In Excess. In Excess. Okay, and general knowledge. Of course, if December's the last month of the year, January is first. Obviously at this point, January feels more than 6 months away. But yeah, January is a nice easy one. The second one, I had to include it because I thought it was so funny. So the car manufacturer, the British one, made in Blackpool, TVR, used to do some amazing sports cars in the 90s. We're about to make a comeback. They got the car, they designed it, we're going to reset up the factory, but the relaunch of the car has been delayed because the factory was broken into and someone had a giant rave in it. So a rave, a giant party, has delayed the relaunch of a car manufacturer because people broke in and had a party. Don't know. Don't think it'd be a particularly safe venue if it's a car manufacturing plant, but hey. Now, the worst possible score anyone's ever got in Pointless was 300. Now, obviously, you're in pairs, so what happened is, and it's called the 300 Club, in the first round, your partner got 100. At the second round, you also got 100. At the same time, in the same round, two other pairs also got 200. So you got off in a square off between that and the other pair. What then happens is, in the next question, you then get the answer wrong, and the other team gets anything right from 100 down. They go through, and you've scored 300. So they do occasionally refer to the 300 group, 300 club. It's not a badge of honour. Okay, on the way to St Ives, I met a man with 7 wives, 7 cats, bats, rats, and all that jazz. One. You only met one person on the way to St Ives. They own lots of stuff, but there's only one person on the way there. And question 5, blasphobia is the fear of falling. Blasphobia, maybe pronouncing that incorrectly. Basophobia, Basophobia, is the fear of falling. So there we have. That's another round out the way. Stay tuned for next week. Keep completely safe, and we'll go from there. So, see you later. Peace.